Yep.
Yeah.
I want to welcome you all to Love, Hate, and Giant Robots, or Character Relationships in Tokusatsu. And I would like to thank everyone for coming here so early on a Sunday morning of a con. You guys are great. We love you.
It's worth it.
So to begin, we're going to talk a bit about the relationships in Japanese society. Has anybody heard the phrase Giri versus Ninjo before? All right. What does it mean?
Well, roughly translated, Giri is like obligations or duty, and Ninjo is more akin to emotion.
You're correct. Now this plays into this chart here.
Okay, and to repeat that, it's essentially...
Giri is duty or obligation, and Ninjo is more human feeling. So looking at this, it may be said that the group is more important than the individual in Japan, but conversely, when you need help as an individual, the group is there to back you up. So it is more of a reciprocal relationship than just one-sided. Let's talk a little bit about types of relationships in Japanese society. We have families.
Which is really the foundation in language of other relationships.
Indeed. Families can be biological, or they can be non-biological. And both have the same sort of tightness of relationships there. If someone is adopted, that will supersede their relationship with their biological parents. You can have friends, comrades, and friends of the same gender. You see a lot of the guys becoming very close in Toku. School and work, superiors and subordinates. And you all know what I mean when I say senpai and kohai?
Yep.
Yeah.
A friend recently called me senpai.
It is, FYI, from my mom who's from Japan. You can call someone senpai, but you do not generally address your subordinate, your junior, as kohai. It's rude. Decker Red, however, broke the rules, and Decker Bond breaks all the rules. He should not be calling Tetsu kohai, but he does. But Bond.
That's because Tetsu called him senpai, and though he was a greater, but it was because he looked up to him for his guts and courage.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Japanese honorifics. Very, very basic, because this is the foundation from which most of the rest of the presentation is going to hinge on. San is your basic, neutral, polite honorific. If you don't know what to use with someone, this is a good one to use. And remember how we said that family is as important as individual? This is why you will many times you will use people's family names instead of their given names. To use one's given name means you're very close. Could is used for equals among young people. Now, again, according to my mom, this has an age limit. For example, you do not call a grown man his name could. So that hits maybe high school, maybe college. You stop using the could honorific with a grown man because it's kind of babyish. Unless you want to rib on him.
And also on the gender side, at least originally was male and has expanded into usage for females to some degree.
John, this is the term of endearment for children, or for somebody that you like that way. Oftentimes, boyfriends or girlfriends will use this honorific in private. Going off a bit into the anime for a minute. If anyone's seen Sailor Moon in the original Japanese, Usangi calls Mamoru Mamo-chan. This is because he's her boyfriend. Sama, this is the very respectful honorific used for those of high social station. Sensei is used for teachers, doctors, and the like. P is a term of endearment. It's used for small children, for pets. And this one, if you're a fan of Shinkenger, you should know. Tono or dono. This is literally means milord. It's not used today much because it's archaic. It's mostly used in business correspondence and on certificates and awards. Honorifics and relationships. There's something called yobisute. That means addressing someone without honorifics. This means if you are very close, you can do this. Addressing someone just by their name, no honorific attached. If you are not close, it's considered rude. For example, any fans of Deno here? Okay. Ryutaros in Deno calls the other Taros, I believe he calls Kintaros Kumacha because he's a bear, and calls Urataros Kame-chan, turtle.
And Sieg, Tori-chan.
Yeah, and Sieg is Tori-chan. But because Momotaros is not based on an animal, he calls it, Ryuta calls him Momotaros. No honorific. Which takes the hell out of Momotaro.
Oh yeah.
Brats call it brats preserving intimacy that should be
He calls him brat in return.
Yes. Both brat.
Funny as hell.
We're family. Okay, let's talk about family here. This is your very, very, very first group, and often the most important. People will do anything for their family members. And I do mean anything.